All right. Welcome to Shared Spaces with Chap, Quida. Dayson is on his way. Um, Thank you guys for tuning in. Today, we're going to be talking with Quida a little bit about some stuff that's going on in the community. We have Mosiah Fit, one of my brothers, chaplain for Baltimore City, among other things. He does amazing things in community. He has an amazing spirit. So we're going to let him rap a little bit about some stuff he's got going on. Um, and Quita, before we introduce Mosiah, do you have any announcements?
Always. Hello everybody. I'm Laquita Chansey, the founder and director of Smaltimore Homes, and we build micro shelters and tiny homes for people who are experiencing homelessness or housing insecurity. This week, we will be at Barnes Memorial Church, 3000 Hillen Road on Tuesday and Friday from 1 to 3. Students can sign up on smalltomorehomes.org to get their volunteer service learning hours, and other volunteers can show up as well. You don't have to be a student. Saturdays, we're at 2555 Harford Road at 10:30 to distribute produce as well. But this particular Saturday, we'll be at 1200 Fremont at the Penderhugh. Aren't we doing some more cleanup? Are we doing some more cleanup, chat? Yeah, you're on mute, and we're doing some cleanup Saturday morning at 8 a.m. You can also get student service learning hours for that, as well as sign up on Smaltimore Homes, or just pop up. Just pull up, show up, because that's how we do. All those details are on all the things on the Instagrams, the Facebooks, the Facegrams, everything. So look us up, get all the details. And Chap, what about you? You got anything to add?
Just to clean up every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. Anytime you want to come out, I am out there. And people come as they can and help clean up. And it's made a difference in the neighborhood. The neighborhood's had positive feedback. People in the neighborhood, more people are coming out and taking initiative to keep it clean when people are trashing it. And local church, the Garden Church, has got some people plugged in. They're over in Druid Heights. Another thing, I guess what's the other thing I was thinking of? No, I thought when you said this Saturday, I thought you got creative influence to bring some food boxes out to Fremont. That'd be cool, man. We need to get David out there with that.
You know what? We could probably coordinate that. Coordinate that. That would definitely get more people showing up. I don't know if they're going to pick up any trash, but more.
No, that's okay.
Yep. Feed the community. Feed the streets.
That's about it. So, Mosiah, if you would please introduce yourself to the rest of the family.
Yeah, brother. Grateful for the opportunity. Again, my name is Mosiah Fit, born and raised in Baltimore. Family been in the same house since 1940. My grandmother raised me to be a servant to the people. I am a chaplain of Baltimore City Police. I'm the founder of many organizations, one being the Black Wolf Youth Scouts here in Baltimore. You can YouTube it. I'm the founder of the Red, Black, and Green Human Flag. First one was done with 350 children at Matthew Hinton Elementary in 2019. And I've been doing them ever since. So basically, long story short, and I'm also an entrepreneur. I have my own business. It's called Grandma Louise Pies. Started off homeless for about 4 weeks. Got in a house. Now I'm in a commercial kitchen. And the business is growing, and I have products in stores and other places. So, I'm just an inspiration. I try to be an inspiration to people, and I'm a brother and sister keeper.
Amen.
So wait, so you were telling me, I think you told me you bumped into Mosiah recently. Is that true, or was it a phone call? Like what
No. So I don't even think I told Mosiah the story. So what happened was my partner Lewis Thomas, for president of Power Fest Baltimore. We met down Fells and we started taking a walk. He invited me to go. He's like, we're going to go sit down to eat somewhere and have a good, we just needed a business meeting, kind of hit the reset button because of COVID, feel out where where our efforts needed to be spent and where we needed to focus on and get things moving for the next project for PowerFest for the city. And he said, well, for some reason we just kept walking. We didn't stop anywhere. We kept walking. He said, hey man, you want to walk to the beach? And I looked at him like, what do you mean the beach, right? So we went on this walk and we just followed the water. And over in Harbor East area, there's like a little beach playground, right? And I had no idea it was there.
Is it called the
and we-
Sandlot?
Mosiah was there. He might be familiar with it. I didn't even pay attention.
Yeah.
Okay. So we weren't really planning on being there, is what I'm saying. We had planned to be somewhere else in the restaurant. We planned that to
Yes,
be was
called the Sandlight.
cool. Yeah. So we planned to eat at Miss Vicky's in Broadway Market. They have really good breakfast. But they're closed on Sunday. I didn't know that. So we found that out. And so we're just walking to see where we wanted to eat in Fells Point. Just kept walking. And very providentially, while we're standing over there, I recognized Messiah started walking over, and he jokingly said, "Man, you two look like a couple of yacht owners," and we are far from it. But it was just very cool, man. It's very encouraging to see my brother. I haven't seen. I think I saw him a couple of times at the last Classic Parade down Pensy Ave. He had his boys out leading the parade with flags and. But it's been a long time since I've seen him, and I was just really encouraged to see him because when I first met him, there was just a wisdom and a depth to him beyond his age. And on top of that, my spirit was drawn to his, and just the integrity that he has that you could sense in him that was unapologetic, uncompromising, unapologetic. But which also placed him in a place where he could be disruptive without consequence because of his integrity. Nobody could, take anything from it because he's about the truth. He's about knowledge, and I really respect that. And I just recognize that because that's a lifestyle. You can't fake it. And spirit recognizes spirit. So I was just really encouraged to see him, and I know that moving forward, God has a plan for us, and he didn't put us together by chance. So. Yeah, I just wanted to share that with you as well, Messiah.
Both of you, so it didn't happen to be like a community event. Both of you were just chilling. Y'all were enjoying life, living your best life, toes in the sand. So Messiah, so you frequent the Sandlot and like to kick back and put your toes in the sand every now and again? Uh-oh. Is his screen frozen? It looks like your screen might be frozen.
Oh, we lost him.
But Brandy and Charlie are here.
Yeah, when we'll get to him. We'll get to him when we get back. We'll get to him. Here he comes. Hey, we lost you for a second, brother. You good? His screen might still be frozen. Let's get Kendrick on while. Seems like he's having difficulties. While we hold that thought, because that's my brother right there. Let's introduce DJ 5 Star. So 5 Star, what's going on, man? Welcome to the show.
You're on mute.
You might be on mute, my brother.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Yes. So this Saturday, you all, it's the 25th annual.
Hello?
Yes, Moss. I can hear you. The 25th annual Baltimore County African American Cultural Festival. Let me ask you a question. When is the last time you went to the courthouse and had a good time and enjoyed yourself? Don't worry, I'll wait.
In my life. Never ever.
Never. Listen. For the past 25 years, y'all, Delegate Adrian Jones, who happens to be the Speaker of the House of Delegates, the top delegate, said, you know what? I want to create an event at the courthouse where people can enjoy themselves. We're going to give scholarships every year. We're going to preserve history for African Americans in Baltimore County, and we're going to give to other nonprofits. Where they do that at? So at the end of the day, I just want y'all to come out Saturday, September the 18th at Patriots Plaza, right at the courthouse. That whole square in Towson has been going on for 25 years, and this is the 25th year. We gave out 25 scholarships for this year. And so I want you all to enjoy. It's free everything. Everything is free, but we don't endorse any tobacco. We don't endorse any alcohol. This is my delegate. I protect her brand with my life. I want you to come out. If you are interested in historical village, go get you some history. If you're interested in educational village, get you some education. You got a scholarship coming to you. Just apply for the scholarship. We got health and wellness, a 5K run in the morning, and then of course we got the entertainment stage. We got a DJ stage, a gospel stage, and our main stage headlining is Freddie Jackson. So we got Panama Band, LA, and the Spindles, and then Freddie Jackson headlining. So it's going to continually be grown. My delegate is the founder, so therefore we all come together in harmony at the courthouse. Come on, at the
What time is the
courthouse.
event?
So the 5K run starts at 8 in the morning. Education Village opens up at 10, and the main stage opens up at 12, and it goes. And I think Freddie Jackson comes on at 6. So we're over at 7, 7:30, 8 o'clock. So 8 to 8 is the window. So if you
Eight
can
to
just come,
eight.
is the window. And I
Okay.
would just
And
say
so if I want to just show up, can I just show up and just
you can
run,
just
or do
show
I
up.
need to pre-register?
You can show up and just run if you want to, but of course I'll give you the direct contact to our health and wellness chair, so you can actually register. I think he has some prizes for people who register and actually go forward and do the whole thing. And so it's a way just to get started, start the morning. It just sets the tone for the morning. And then Education Village, they have a whole panel discussion on things that they want to talk about, and our vice president and the chair of Education Village is actually 75. And she said, Kendrick, I want to STEM it up. I know how you are about STEM, and we're going to do science, technology, engineering, and math right here in Education Village. So, of course, it's something for everybody. It's a children's champion zone. They have a fashion show. They have all types of things for any and everybody, from grandma, the baby boomer, to the millennial, to the adult, young adult, down to our babies. There is something for you all. So this Saturday at the courthouse, Patriots Plaza, September 18th. We want to see you there. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything but time and a smile. Time and a smile.
And we love free 99. So we are glad that you are here to share this event at Patriots Plaza. So tell me a little bit more, if you don't mind, if you could, about this children's champion zone. Like, that sounds amazing. What is a children's
So
champion?
So Children's Champion Zone is right there to engage our young people under 12. And so
Okay.
usually it's a moon bounce, it's face painting. So COVID kind of changed those things around. So I think we got to
Right.
make sure it's all COVID friendly type of in activities. So there'll be
Yeah.
someone drawing you as opposed to face painting. There will be different activities, or it's a fashion show. We have our chair is named Miss Pat, and she's just an amazing woman. So she's excited about the youth. And so in Children's Champion Zone, there are activities. I think it's a video game truck coming. And so there are different
Wow.
activities that engage our young people under 12 before they become teenagers. You got Educational Village engaging our teenagers, and then we got Health and Wellness, Historical Village, and then the three stages. We got the all gospel explosion stage. That's going to be hosted and ran by Lee Michaels. So I'm excited. He got some favors pulled. People are flying in from Texas to perform on his stage. And I'm just excited about the energy that people just come say, hey, 5 star, we love you. I got you. What you need. And so when you
Right.
when you put in the work and you stay mission driven, not moving amongst your ego, then people come back and ask you, what do you need, and how can I serve? And that's all I really want from you all. If we can put our link tree in the chat, is it a way for me to do that?
Yeah, you can do that, and we'll repost it. And it looks like Derek Burnett is asking, who will be the Educational Village speaker?
Darius A. Stanton is the speaker for Educational Village. Thank you, Derek. Thank you so much. And Derek was a monumental brother that actually connected us to something we wanted to do. We wanted to be more active in our communities. And so we started these movie nights over the summer. And Derek Burnett just opened his arms and brought us into his community. And we brought the big, what was it, 64-foot big jumbo blow up screen and just watch movies like Harriet, watch movies like Black Panther. Everything has got to be cultural and touching our culture and uplifting our culture. So our mission as the Baltimore County African American Cultural Festival is to inspire, produce, and preserve. And so in that motion, we got to make sure that everyone we bring into the fold has that same type of mission where they want to inspire, produce, or preserve. And that to me, that's just been amazing. It's amazing a part of what we do, and to have a founder like Delegate Adrian Jones, who's just a phenomenal woman. She has only speaker of the house that looks like us, only speaker of the house that looks like you as a queen. And to me, we have to stand behind her and uplift her, because she is the one that said we need to have a black agenda. There was no speaker of the house before her that said we need to have a black agenda. And so
Right.
having someone like that in the House of Delegates that we can support, who also founded this great organization, the Baltimore County African American Cultural Festival, to me, it makes sense to just bring the family out. At least bring the family out. If you can't do that, copy and paste that link, share it on your Facebook page, send me a message. I'll send you everything you need. We are always looking for volunteers. We're always looking for vendors. We're always looking for sponsors. We're always looking for just your center of influence, just a sharing, talking about it. The biggest form of marketing is word of mouth. So if you can just tell someone today, Saturday, you and I are going to bring our shares to the courthouse, and we're going to have a wonderful time at the courthouse.
Amazing. An amazing time. Cut up a rug. And so it sounds like there'll be music and all types of things. Will you be DJing, DJ 5-Star?
They don't let me play those hats. So when
Okay.
I gotta play the hat, when I'm wearing the hat of the president, I couldn't even put DJ 5-Star in my caption. I'm Mr. Tillman, president of the Baltimore County
I
African American Culture
understand.
Festival. But I brought some of my Sound Vision brothers. They're gonna be at the DJ. I know all the DJs. So I called as many DJs as I could to get them on the DJ stage. So there'll be at least 10 strong DJs that we on the on the DJ stage, and then we have the gospel explosion on the gospel stage. It's 3 different stages, y'all. It's a gospel stage, it's the DJ stage, and then the main stage will have the Spindles, LA band, Panama band, and then Freddie Jackson headliner.
Oh my goodness. It sounds like I need to bring a cooler, a wagon, some chairs, a pop-up tent. Brandy, what you doing this weekend, girl? We need to go out there, kick up feedback. After we've been cleaning up the community and passing out food, honey, we're going to be over there.
I'm pretty sure we got a tent. David, Chap, don't we have tents somewhere? I know
I'm
they
sorry.
I said, where them tents at?
Oh yeah, we got tents. We can do it.
Oh, yeah, and I got a Scooby-Doo cooler.
Sounds like a good time. It sounds like a good time.
So, Mr. Tillman, you also spoke a little bit about. You said the delegate knows that you're into STEM. Tell us about that.
So for those that don't know, I branded myself as the #1 STEM DJ. About 15 years ago, I found a way to combine my engineering degree with me being a professional DJ. Started doing this edutainment workshop, talking about how when I'm scratching this record, that's kinetic energy, that's friction, that is physics. And so we broke down the science, the technology, the engineering, the math in the DJ industry. And then lo and behold, Mr. Chap knows this. We launched 2 products. And so we're excited about our products. One's called Math Through Music. It teaches young people how to DJ using mathematical principles. You and I know that principles are few, processes are many. And so we took the few principles of math, talking about addition, subtraction, multiplication, ratios, part to whole, percentages, anything that dealt with the principles of math that we could apply to the processes of DJing, the process of music. It's almost like when you have a baby that you want to take some medicine, but you put the medicine inside the applesauce so they can take the medicine, they can get what they need, but it tastes good. And that's pretty much what we do. So we have a product called JD, where young people solder a DJ rig together and then code it to play music. And so I'm a huge geek, even though I'm from Emerson Village, from Baltimore. I make geeking be exciting, I guess.
Flirt gang, let's get it. Flirt gang, let's get it.
Lady said that you put the wow in STEM, Mr. Tillman. So whatever it may be, if I want to if we can inspire our young people to continue to close that technology gap, our gaps are widening. There are opportunities in the technology world that our students aren't being prepared for, and so we just want to make sure we can close that gap.
That's beautiful. I wanted to quickly add, Baltimore, we started a STEM kind of training program last year when COVID hit because we couldn't get in the classrooms. But the kinetic energy and how to generate a hand-pulled battery and how that can sustain someone who's not having power or someone who needs solar energy, like all of those things matter, and they're the future. Like they're the everything. There are gas stations that have no attendees and sell everything, including the gas. There are grocery stores with no attendees. We have to continue to stay involved in STEM so that we can stay even with everybody. Okay, Dayson is coming back on.
Yeah, I'm sorry I'm late. They changed my hours at the rec because the after school program, so probably be on here late a lot.
It's okay. You showed up. We wanted to see your bright, glowing face. So what was going on at the rec today? Anything exciting? Same old stuff? What's going on?
Yeah, a lot of kids. We had horses today, but that's becoming a little bit normal, so it's not really that exciting to me anyway.
Wait a minute. Horses okay. So it's not exciting to you, but do you ride the horses, Dayson?
No.
Okay, when are you going to start doing that? No.
Well, the horses come from City Ranch. Mr. Khan is the director over there, and I have known Mr. Khan for about 4 years. You know, I worked at a lot of summer camps, and so Mr. Khan came to all of my summer camps, and so I've been riding horses every summer. It's not that interesting anymore.
Yeah, that to me, horses are big and scary. Like I prefer dogs, and people are like, people who love horses are like, but they're the same, and I'm like, no,
who said
they
that?
are not the same, bruh. People that love horses, those are the people that I have ridden with, and they make me feel like I am insane because I'm like, okay, this big monster, I'm good. Let me just get off.
I'm not afraid to ride the horses. It's just not that interesting anymore. Just let the kids go ride the horses.
I feel out of control.
They always use the bathroom, like every time, all the time.
They have no etiquette, huh, Dayson?
No,
what is wrong with you? You have no etiquette. Always going to the bathroom.
All right, so hey guys, I think we got Mosiah back up and running. So I'm gonna see if we can get him on.
Let's dial Mosiah in.
All right, Mr. Fit is back. How's it going, brother?
Yeah, good. I had some terrible reception.
That's okay. It's okay.
It happens to the best of us.
So where do we leave off with Mosiah? I told you a great story about how we ran into each other very providentially.
Right, and so
it's kind of where we left off.
I was saying you were chilling with your feet in the sand at Sandlot. What else is it that you do when you're not chilling with your feet in the sand at Sandlot?
Oh, talking about me?
Yes, sir.
What else is that I do?
Yeah.
I'm pretty much spending my life on my business. You know, I'm a baker, so trying to meet the needs of the stores, fulfill orders. It takes a lot of my time, a lot of my life. But you know, I'd rather work for myself than work for these jobs that really don't care and appreciate you. And
do you have a team working with you?
Yeah.
Do you have a team working with you? And where are your restaurants or locations?
So my kitchen is on Greenmount Avenue, but I'm in Hip Hop Fish and Chickens. I'm in OK Natural Food Store. I'm in Terra Cafe. Getting ready to be in Sharif's. And,
Sharif's is good. That's a good one.
The order, the Mr. Fit cake. How do we know what's yours?
Yeah.
Right, I'm like Sharif, Terra Cafe. These are places that I go. I had no idea.
So the business is called Grandma Louise Pies. It looks like this. This is the logo that's on my pies. It's my grandmother.
Okay.
All right. So you see that face. When you see that face, that's my product.
No, that's you. Okay.
Yeah.
Dayson, did you have a question or I'm sorry? Go ahead.
I drive down Greenmount every day. and make sure I swing by.
Yeah,
Or
our
fish and chicken. I go there a lot too.
our kitchen is an incubator. So basically, those who have businesses utilize the kitchen. So it's really not like a walk-in type thing, but you can always come to the kitchen and talk to me in the waiting area, or I can just let the sites. If you Google us, Grandma Louise Pies, our website will pop up. It says Fed Up, and you can order the pies online. And I also have young entrepreneurship opportunity where the young people can basically be a boss by buying the pies wholesale, and then you can sell the pies for whatever you want. We'll get you a website where people can go on your site and order your products, and you can get subscriptions where you don't have to keep chasing people, and they just make a commitment to buy a pie from you once a week, every other week, and that's just money adding up week by week, day by day.
So if somebody wanted to take advantage of that opportunity, they would go to your website as well.
No, I say the best thing to do is just contact me, and it's actually a class process. You got to take a course where you learn entrepreneurship, you learn business. We're gonna get you with a business account. We're gonna get you incorporated as a sole proprietor, and then so you can actually start doing business a legit way.
Is that
That's
something
right.
that you do one-on-one, or is it like a cohort and like a collective, a group of folks?
I try to do it in groups. So, like right now, we don't have a group, but if let's say if you wanted to come on board and you had a few friends, I'll allocate time just for you all. The courses are mainly online. They're already done. All you got to do is just enroll.
Right, just pass the class. Okay.
So is there an age limit for that? I have a few mentees that I've been trying to get like their entrepreneurial spirits up. And so like, what's the age limit?
So I started 14, but to
Okay.
be honest, if I interview a young person that's younger than 14, their maturity is there, and they have the family support, I work with anybody.
So I will share that Charles over here on the top right of the screen, Charles Lovelace has I'm also trying to share that knowledge and that spirit and that mentality of entrepreneurship. Like you had mentioned, you don't. I don't want my son to work for someone who may not really care about them. They care about the bottom line, and that's their business, right? But I want my son to be able to build his own wealth, don't ask nobody for nothing, and be empowered to do what he wants with his money without, maybe like Charlie, maybe you can share about your experience so far, some questions you have. These are the guys, right? Like Mosiah has done it. He teaches people how to do it. What's your experience with that? How do you feel about it? What does it look like as a brand new entrepreneur, like literally filling out your articles of incorporation application, like as we speak?
Well, right now I have like 6 regulars, but
What's your business?
it's called Loveless LLC, and it's not just like lawn care, but it can be a number of different things. But I just have trouble branding myself or marketing. Like so far, I've made like a flyer with like just my name and my phone number, but I'm so worried about like design and stuff. Like I'm not very. I don't know how to build clientele well, and you know.
So Charlie,
And that's okay because you got to start somewhere,
regulars,
right?
you obviously know how to build clientele. You have 6 regulars. Like, don't discount what you've already accomplished. Like, you're not out there still handing out flyers trying to get folks. So that's thing one. And don't be scared to start, because almost everything can be erased. As long as you're not like breaking the law or doing anything illegal, you can change your logo, you can change your company name. Like, nothing is etched in stone. Like, just jump out there, bro. I'm sure everybody else has something to add, but those things, like, just right there, I have to tell myself all the time, get out of your own way. You're ready. Like, get out of your own way.
So Mosiah, I wanted to ask you on that thought, like, why is it important to start off doing things right? Because he's 18 years old. It's easy to just go out there, hustle, make some cash, cut some grass, right?
Only 18.
What's the value of doing it as the right way, in your opinion, your
Right.
experience?
So, Chap, I always say the right way is the way that's successful. And, there's many ways that people have gotten success. I'll say the regulated way of doing a business, right, is, of course, to go get incorporated, get your EIN number, get insured, and get a business account, right? But most millionaires, billionaires, very successful companies didn't start that way. They started very unorthodox, grassroots, hitting the streets, sometimes poor and homeless. So, I say the first thing to do if you want to be successful is try it. Don't worry about the legalities. Don't worry about what kind of credentials you have and you don't have. You got to try it to see if it's even worth investing the money to incorporate it, to get it licensed, to get insured. And then once you see the success of it, that's when okay, I want to take it to the next level. So if you got beyond that level where you already realize it's worth it, it's worth getting the incorporation, because if you want to legally do business anywhere in the state of Maryland or whatever state you're in, they're going to ask for an EIN number, and they're going to know that you have a business account. So that's why it's worth it.
You're on mute.
Chap, you're on mute.
I always do that. No, that's good, man. I think also, like you said, you mentioned earlier, like, getting young people in this entrepreneur spirit. I think it's also important to remember, like my son right now is just getting started, just graduated. We're cutting grass. We have some other ideas we're going to pursue. And I think the mentality is, as well, is that once you get one thing up and running, keep it going, but move on to another thing and get multiple streams of income. If we can build wealth like that, where we get something up and running and it's self-sufficient, and you don't, getting started is always the hardest. Even with a brand new lawn, we discovered it might take twice as long to cut the grass, but the next time we go, first time we cut it might take hour and 15 minutes. The next time we went, it took 25 minutes. Now that it's up and running, just that maintenance of every week keeping it is much easier, and so you can spend less time on that one thing and kind of explore another thing while that's going, right? We want our young men and women, we want our children, our brothers and sisters, we want you guys to have multiple streams of income. It's like, if you have a million things that only bring in $1 a day, well, that's $1 million a day, right? So every little bit counts. Being smart with your money, and like you said, pouring it into things that are successful, or things that you even just enjoy doing, because there's also success in having joy, and there's success in loving what you do. If you break even on your bills, maybe you're not buying like a brand new Mercedes, right? But if you love what you do, there's so much value in that,
Yeah, and like you said, the multiple streams of income. I think Messiah actually already touched on that. Like, you can sell the pies. I'm sorry. Face to face. You can get your monthly membership or your monthly subscription. People can order pies like putting those different things in place are ways to increase that revenue stream. And then, like you said, Chap, you learn how to do the one thing, you build systems around it, you automate around it, you massage it, perfect it, work on it, whatever, but move on to the next thing, grow a little bit bigger, reach out to the next block around you, whatever the case may be. But Charlie, I think that you're doing great. Like, let me just say that. I think that you're doing great, because we've been talking about this now for several weeks. And to know that you have like regular clients, like, I need to borrow $1 or something. I don't know.
And look, I want to share something with my brother Messiah, man. Is because because I follow you and I pay attention to some of your social media. And it was, like I said, it was so great to run into you again, man. A real privilege, true privilege. And I know we have more to come. So y'all keep paying attention to what's going on. But I think one of the things I will encourage you to do, if you have not done it already, is to take time to write down what you're doing. Take time to document what you're doing. Because I think if you tell your story, I think your story is one that needs to be told. Your truths, your knowledge, your research that you do on everything, I think it needs to be shared. And I think by sharing even just a little bit at a time, even if you just write a little bit and share a little bit of your story at a time, that one story, that one book, or that one publication can proliferate more streams of income, right? Because you can just set up a website, forget about it, and sell books, and that's automatic, right? You can go do book signings, you can go talk about your story, and you can do all these things the entire time. Really, you're the brand and you're promoting yourself, but you have value, and your experience has so much value, and there's others out there that need to hear your experience and wisdom, because we can give knowledge, but you can't give wisdom unless somebody's willing to receive it. And there's people out there that would love to receive it and they don't have a source. You know what I mean? And we're all sources of wisdom and experience. And if we collaborate that experience, that's how we change things, man. And it's, one person can change the world, but we are definitely together in this, man.
I think that's a great point, Chap. Not only that, like, representation matters. Like, representation matters. We need to see more authors that look like the people in the communities that we serve. So Dayson, who already has a book, like, know that there's multiple streams of income in that. So Dayson, do you want to tell us a little bit about your book?
Yeah. So first I can touch on a little bit of what Chap said about kind of like the investment value of that. A book is forever. It's your entire life. That book will be sold for your entire life. And if you truly believe in the value that you have and the future success that you're looking to achieve, and maybe one day, you're on CNN, right? And somebody say, oh, I really like that guy. And then they look your name up and your book pops up and then your book starts to sell because it's for your entire life. I may not be on top of the world when I'm 20, may not be on top of the world when I'm 30, but if I truly believe in myself, when I'm 40, 50, I'll be on top of the world sometime. And that means my book is going to pick up. I'm going to start making more money. And so I really, I tell all of my mentees, like, consider writing a book or something that will outlive you, because the things that will outlive you seem to be the things that you will gain most value from. So with that being said, my book is called The Talk, Discussing Black America. I'm pretty sure a lot of people on this show have heard about it before. It's a children's book that seeks to discuss the systematic racism, police brutality, misconduct, and abuse, so on and so forth, that is so persistent here in the United States. I've been working with kids for a long time, seeing these kids watch these videos on their cell phones, which all kids seem to have these days. Watch these videos of police officers killing people that look like themselves, look like their fathers, look like their mothers, brothers, sisters, uncles, cousins. It's really difficult for these kids to view that type of stuff, especially when the person that is doing that horrendous action is someone that is supposed to be protecting them, someone that is supposed to be there for them. And so this book I intended this book to be more of like a guide for parents to have this conversation with their children. And I'm actually in the process of writing my second book, because the first book was from the perspective of a Black family. What do Black families tell their children about police brutality and racism? But now I'm curious to know, what do white families tell their kids about racism, right? And so that's what my second book is going to be about. I've been doing interview after interview after interview, because I would never appreciate someone writing about my experience without actually understanding my experience. And so, of course, I have to go and talk to people who are not of the same race that I am in order to write this book. And so I've been doing interview after interview. Actually, I'm in the upcoming weeks, I'm actually going to interview Luke and his family.
Awesome.
Indeed. So,
can I say one thing about most stuff? I think it's you hear a lot about people being entrepreneurs and stuff, but the fact that you guys have a class before someone invests in your product that's so amazing, because a lot of people want to do stuff and they have no clue how to do it. You know what I mean? And actually having a class to help you, and like, you know, knowing that like Charlie he's trying, right? And knowing that he has somewhere to go and to find somebody to say, hey, like, this is a class that you can follow, and like this is my experience, and this is how, you know, you can be successful. Like, that translates across the board to any kind of business. You know what I mean? And especially, you know, for a success like this, that would be amazing to like have what is it? Just like kind of just a plan. You know what I mean? So like that's such a market you can like share with others too, your experience, because that's yours. You know, and you can tell kids, or not just kids, but whoever, you know, this is what I did. This was my trial and error, because, you know, not every business succeeds. And like you said, Quida, you got to take a risk. You know what I mean? And believe in yourself. And having somebody else tell you that and say, look, I took the risk and here it is. The value of that is unprecedented.
That's right.
So,
Brandy, that's a great point, because I think, like, to Mosiah, the people who are investing in that particular course,
thank you.
They wouldn't have to buy, you know, they could do any sort of business, is what I'm trying to say. It's good in all across the board.
Absolutely. And I encourage assuming other people you don't even know. You know, like that's the thing. You don't know who you're touching, who you're sharing that with. You know what I mean? Like someone hearing Dayson say, like, I wrote a book and I'm young. Look at me. You know, like, I don't know how much more on top of the world you can be, young man. You know, like you already are doing it, right? Like the steps and the courage to do these types of things. Like people, you know, don't hear enough about this. People to have encouragement and have people believe in them. They take the risk. And look, I already took the risk, and this is what it looks like. It doesn't always look like the #1 bestseller, but one day it might. So those are such invaluable experiences for both Mosiah and Dayson. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
So let me ask you, Dayson, because I don't think I ever asked you, what led you to, or how did you get to the point where you took the leap of faith and wrote your book? How'd you get there?
Well, I always wanted to write a book. I don't know what made me always want to write a book. I guess it was just like this weird little quirk in the back of my head that was saying, you know, I've read a lot, so that may be a reason, but I always wanted to write a book. And during the George Floyd riots, stuff kind of got hard in my family, particularly because, well, stuff got hard in my family because we're Black. And of course, when you see that type of thing, it's difficult. It got hard for me because I work with kids every day since I was 13 years old, and it made it difficult that way. And then I have a lot of friends who aren't Black. And so they started asking me questions that I didn't consider appropriate. And it made me mad and sad. And I just had so many different mixed emotions that I just took that leap of faith. Like it didn't feel like a leap of faith at the time. It just felt like I was writing what I felt. I was given information that I felt like so many people needed to hear. And so that was kind of the point in which the thing that made me have to write this book, or write in general.
And so are you finding, or let me ask you this. So I know you said that you're now interviewing people for your second book.
Mm-hmm.
Do you start the conversation with the mindset that you had when you wrote the book, or is your conversation absent of your book? Like, how do you engage, you know, to talk about the police thing? Because I'm thinking, if you started with, oh, I wrote this during George Floyd, they might think a little bit deeper about what they say than what they might say off the top of their head today.
Exactly. And so when I look to tackle these interviews, I did it in like a multitude of different ways. I did phone interviews, Zoom videos, interviews. Sometimes I just gave them the paper like I did Chap and had them fill out the questions themselves. The ones that I found were most effective in actually reaching what's inside of a person is when I was face-to-face talking to them face-to-face. And I would always start the interview off as, let's just assume that I'm either going to say something that's going to offend you, or you're going to say something that's going to offend me. And So let's in this moment, before we start this interview, understand that whatever we say, it does not bleed into our personal lives, no matter what. Understand? I've interviewed only 2 people that were strangers, and of those two people were the most honest. Or I'm not going to say the most honest. Those people were the ones that didn't necessarily have the most sensitive tone when talking about an issue as sensitive as this. But I didn't tackle these conversations from the viewpoint of the George Floyd case. I didn't tackle these interviews from the viewpoint of my initial book, my first book, primarily because of what you said. I felt like it would kind of taint the responses that I would get.
Yeah. Okay. And whichever way you did it would have been right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that is your perspective, your vision. But I was just really curious because I know that when I talk to people and I start at the place of, oh yeah, we build micro shelters and tiny homes. Like, people have certain air about them. But when I start bringing in redlining and predatory lending, and this was called urban planning in Baltimore City, but people begin to feel like I'm attacking them or historically things that they've been a part of. And it's like, no, this is just a part of it. Like I have no feelings toward you in that way, but this is a part of the whole thing. And so people like to internalize things that don't have anything to do with them. And so I was wondering if you had addressed that, and you did. So that's really cool.
Thanks.
Are any of the interviews like hard?
I wouldn't say they're hard just because this is a topic that I really care about. And so, or politics, anything that has to do with social issue politics and stuff that I really care about. And I could talk about for hours. And so it's not hard. What makes it hard is when people say things that I feel is unsensitive or just plain out wrong. Like they've been watching Fox News 24/7 and just straight up giving wrong information. That sometimes can be a little bit difficult because in an interview, I do not want to make you mad to the point where you saying, oh, forget this interview and you walk away. Right. And so I can't really debate you on an issue. I have to ask you the question, get the response, and move on. And so, yeah, in that sense, it's a little bit difficult.
Yeah.
Well, and
go ahead, Chap.
I was just saying the responses you want is just honesty, right or wrong, right? You want it. And I think face to face is really valuable because a lot of people you interview, especially people that are more ignorant of people's human rights in general, aren't going to be able to articulate themselves as well as I can. So face to face is good.
And that's
I answer questions. I write pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
What did you say, Dayson?
I said that's why I try to do face to face interviews, but like Chap says, he writes good, so I let him go ahead and write.
That's good. Like I don't blame you. I do realize though that sometimes when I should have an objective opinion, like in an interview or such, my face might do something that says otherwise. Like I was telling Chap a few weeks ago, I was, politely uninvited to a lunch because these gentlemen wanted me to agree with them when they said that, the Black family is breaking down because Black fathers aren't stepping up or something like that,
I remember.
Yeah.
Immediately, I'm like, well, none of the fathers on my block are not stepping up. Like, these are all 2-family households. Like, where are we talking about? And I'm not saying that those families don't exist, but please don't generalize when most of the families that I know don't fit into your stereotype. Exactly. So like I said, I was politely uninvited to lunch and they were like, you know what, this chatty chick don't need to come with us and we're going to go on over there. And that's fine because I didn't need to sit at that table and I just come here and build my own with you all.
Right.
Yeah. And also, you mentioned the table, just popped a light bulb in my head. I think it's me share it on the air so no one can say it was their idea. This is my idea. I just doing research and studying and like talking about stuff with my sons and spiritual stuff and like things like religion and with other men as well, men of other faiths, in the Christian church and I am saved. by the blood of Jesus Christ, and believe in one God, the one true God. And when all that proliferated and began, when Jesus Christ died on the cross, when people got together and gathered for what we know as church initially, they broke bread together. They all came to the table. Everyone came to the table. Everyone broke bread. Everyone had fellowship. They shared ideas. They poured into each other. They met each other's needs. They figured out how they're going to serve and when and where and whom. And everyone was at the table. And when the Catholic Church stepped in and started, compromising certain truths and changing, and I mean historically, I'm not talking bad about the Catholic Church now. I'm not talking good about them. I'm just saying historically, they changed things. They put everyone that was coming to the table into the audience. They separated the audience from educated people. Then educated people stood in front of the audience at their own little table, right? The preacher has his podium and he has his own little table, and then he's at the table by himself and he shares his interpretation, his thoughts, and everything he thinks is the right thing to do with the audience. And, whether the excuse was it's because people are uneducated, they wouldn't understand. Well, that's who Jesus spent time with and spoke to, right? But you can unpack that in a whole lot of ways. But the point is that initially the initial purpose or intent of Christ's message, God's message was he's inviting everyone to the table. And inside the church building, you've changed that. Inside the church building, even well-intended people and people that are really serving the community, people I love and call my brother, they're at their own personal table talking to an audience. And I think that we should change that. And I think we do change that. Like you said, if we're excused from a table or we're excused from the audience or we're not invited to your solo table to talk. Oh, I think they're going to the ball game. Yeah. Ravens starting 20 minutes. See you guys. Thank you guys.
I'm saying if I'm not invited to the table.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
If we're not invited to the table, we just leave.
We build our own table, right? Like for instance, someone was asking me, what's the point of, a dear brother was asking me, what's the point of cleaning up Pinderhughes in Sandtown, because it's just going to get dirty again. And it was this Saturday. It was almost as bad as the first day we went out there, and I was really surprised. There was piles of clothes and trash and stuff, and
it looked way too intentional. It looked like vandalism. Do you know?
Yeah, really. And you know what's funny? I have the dummies left their paycheck stubs in their trash, so we know where they live. So you know who you are. We know who you are, and I'm gonna leave it at that. But I will say that there has been a difference. Everyone in the street on North Carrollton, on Winchester, the next side street over in Riggs, just from that one side of the park, that one fence line, just being cleaned and kept up, and the playground being kept, and then people walking by and seeing people clean up, they're telling other people to slow their roll when they're trashing it. They're keeping their gutters clean in front of their house now, and everybody's they're not as inundated with the blight, and it is making a difference. And so what's the point of cleaning up? It gets dirty again every week, yes, but it's a little bit better every week. And that little bit better, you're peeling back layers of oppression and layers of just mental struggle that people can start to see the light. And more people are coming out on the porch during the day, or, you're not waking up angry because there's, all this crap. You're making up maybe a little less angry. And even to the point where you might come over and grab a pair of gloves and pick up trash. There is a difference. And if you go to the Pinderhughes site right now and you look at the north side of the park, we haven't gotten to that fence line yet. And then you look at the south side that we've been cleaning, and you just go into and you just look at the neighborhood beyond it. There's a difference. Like, you can see that this neighborhood has been cleaner in general, and the north side we haven't hit yet, and you can just see the difference. There's garbage bags and there's trash all in the street, and the neighbors are having a hard time, just like the neighbors on the south side were. So we're slowly working our way around the whole park, but you can definitely tell a difference. And then there's people that because we're consistently out there, there's other people who are noticing, and people like Brian Sessions at the Garden Church, who are like, man, this is great. I love this. This is church. I'm going to come out and help you every week, or I'm going to come out and help you every other week. Or people that weren't even necessarily part of the team or part of the plan, or I didn't say to them, I need help. They're like, what do you do? And what are you doing out here? And so it's cool to see people in the community taking notice and wanting to be a stakeholder in the initiative, right? Because then as we can build that up and the community starts doing it themselves, then we can move down the street to the next community in Harlem Park, or we can move up to Winchester, or we can move over to Druid Heights and do another spot, do that for a little while and deputize and build up some stakeholders. And then just like the entrepreneurship, the community stuff, you keep building up little stuff at a time in the communities, and then you move on to the next one and you come back and visit, right? You get them going and you come back and you drop in on everybody. And it's not going to happen overnight, but it's definitely working.
Yeah, Chap, I think one of the biggest things to mention is that no one person on that block would have been able to keep that space clean by themselves without the contribution of everybody else pitching in. But then the contribution of people not contributing to adding back to the trash, like that has to be a collective effort. So the more people that come out, the more people understand we're going to be back in the neighborhood Saturday. Y'all are going to be back helping us. Like, just put the stuff in the trash can. Like the trash cans.
And I will say that I will say last time I cleaned up, the needles most of the needles were in the trash can this time. So thank you, I guess.
We got to start somewhere.
Yeah, and I also will say
because at least the kids don't play in the trash, right?
Hopefully.
Oh God.
And I'll say that as well. One of the neighbors who helped us clean up. One Saturday night, there was a party at another neighbor's house. They threw a party and trashed what we had just cleaned up like hours ago, the same day. That night they trashed it. And the guy who helped us clean up, he let them know, like, what are you doing, man? We just cleaned this up. Like, what are you doing? And it hasn't happened again since. So the conversations are being had because there's people with skin in the game and accountability now where they're just checking each other like, hey, man, we're not doing this for nothing.
Watch him, bro. Like, don't come over here messing up our stuff. Yeah. We're just trying to keep it nice and pristine.
Right. So, and I've shared before, like when I drove through Chicago, even the little homeless camps, where the city provided water for them, 2 trash cans and a porta pot.
They do the same thing in Savannah.
Those homeless camps were like probably cleaner than my bedroom, man. I'm a messy dude. And it was just amazing how pristine they kept it because they had the resources. Where in Baltimore, if there's a homeless camp, well, we fence it up when we shovel you off to a shelter, just kick you out and displace you. But people don't want to live like that, but they're so tired and beaten down by the city. Like we can't even give them some clean water and porta pots. There was a camp in Dundalk Avenue down by Halliburton, this COVID, where the guy asked him, I was like, what do you guys need, man? Because I drop food off all the time and water and talk to the guy. And he's like, his name was Brian. And Brian was kind of almost like the community president of the homeless community there. And he's like, you know what, man, people are always dropping off food. We're always good. He's like, we just need some trash cans. Like he had a pile of trash next to their camp and it's just getting bigger. And so it took me like 5 or 6 weeks talking with DPW. They refused to provide cans because it wasn't a residence. So I went to Home Depot, and the manager at Home Depot on Eastern Avenue was like, yeah, I'll give him some cans, donated cans, like without even thinking about it. She's like, I got it, no problem. Gave him cans. And so another couple weeks went by, and I'm like, we have trash cans. Can you guys just pick them up? You're driving by them once a week. Just dump them. And finally, like 6 weeks or 8 weeks into the conversation, finally, and this was me being relentless. This is me being ADD Chap, right? Like, they finally broke and said, you know what? Somebody finally said, we can pick it up. It's fine. Like, stop bothering us. And I promise you, this is the truth. The week that they picked up the trash, Brian died of COVID. And that whole community disbanded. And so it was like, man, it was so discouraging. It was like, wow, like my brother died.
Wow.
And he really didn't get to see the city finally, say, okay, we'll try and help you out. Like, but neither here nor there, but it's just like, why do we treat people like that as a as an agency, or like we have agencies that are supposed to serve that community. So why am I fighting so hard to get you to do your job? So.
Yeah, because money. We know why. We know
Yeah,
why. It's something that we're definitely working on. Because to your point, some legislation has recently been passed where tiny homes are more acceptable. They still have to be 400 square feet, which is bigger than my prototype, but it's a start.
Why do they care how big it is?
Come on, bro. Like,
Getting smaller, like better.
so many reasons. I don't think like slumlords. They don't want you to live in a closet. You know what I mean? So just think slumlords in
Okay.
small, tiny places and just chill with that, right?
Okay.
But we're gonna move forward with figuring out how to get people housed, because to your point, you can't shelter in place with COVID if you don't have a home.
Right, and the city only has so many COVID hotels and things like that, and they don't want to be. They want the money, but they don't want to be shut down for
for someone with COVID, right?
A, for someone with COVID, or B, someone that's homeless.
They're kicking people out of those hotels. They just don't tell you that.
Are you telling me this?
I'm telling our viewers this. They're kicking people out of those hotels.
Yeah. The city has a voucher program, but I have spoken to lots of people that have not been accepted, were only accepted temporarily, or can't. Like you said, now that people are traveling again, the hotels don't have that availability. They're not that lenient. They're like, yo, we need people that are actually paying top dollar, and we can't have people who appear to be unhoused traipsing through the hotels. So it's annoying. It's frustrating. But it is after 8, and we can.
And the Ravens are starting in 13 minutes, everyone.
13 minutes. All right. Gonna go put the wings on. All right.
That's right. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for the show tonight. Thank you, Charlie and Brandy, for checking in and hanging out with us. Appreciate you guys. Dayson, appreciate you rushing home and hopping on with the crew. Quida, thank you so much. I think we had some good conversations. Everybody, clean up, Sandtown, 8 a.m. Volunteer or come get food at Reach Partnership School at 10:30 a.m. Or what time?
Preferably earlier. So if you come
preferably earlier, excellent. And then
yeah, because I got there at 10:30 2 weeks in a row, and by then both all the food was gone, all the pallets were gone. See you, Brandy. Bye, Charlie.
And then final announcement. African American Heritage Festival, September 18th, this Saturday from 8 to 8. Freddie Jackson I'm excited about Freddie Jackson. That's pretty cool. And a lot of other great stuff for the community. And then the following weekend, September 25th, from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Patterson Park is the Latino Heritage Festival.
Oh.
So a lot of heritage being celebrated this month. So get out and love on our people, man.
Excellent. Dayson, did you have any announcements? Anything going on at the rec or anything?
Nothing going on at the rec, but stay tuned. I will have announcements. So just
excellent. All right, that's what's up.
Okay, so one more thing, real quick. Outdoor movie night, October 4th. It will be a viewing of the movie Ballet After Dark. Tide Courtney Edwards is one of the, I think she's the executive producer, but I have a cameo in the movie. So it will be really nice if people can come out. It was produced by Queen Latifah's camp. I'll put it on Baltimore Homes website, October 4th. So we have a few more weeks. I'll mention it.
All right, next week. Yeah, next week, let's get the information out there on the chat. Yes, ma'am. Excellent.
All right.
Love
bye,
you guys.
guys.
See you.
All right.